So I'm going live on Facebook and on YouTube. Guys, what's the crack? Crypto with Dinny. And it's Dinny here. It's good to see you. This is my last day in my 30s. My last day. Actually feels a bit weird saying that. Feck it anyway. Well, I'll be allowed to wear the baseball hats and all now when I get to 40. Anyway, I'm going to tell you how to retire on Bitcoin, even if you're only starting in 2022. If that sounds good, do me a favor, hit the like button, give it a nice strong press. That can be your daily exercise, okay? Hitting the like button, hit the share button, hit the follow button, whatever, tag your buddies. But this is a video on how to retire on Bitcoin if you're only going to start in 2022. And I'm just going to run some numbers. I have a sheet here, numbers. I've done some Dinny math for you, so I'll go through that and hopefully it'll get the cogs turning in your head. So, when it comes to exponential growth, wait. Guys, remember the drill, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a Bitcoiner, I'm a crypto investor, very good one, okay? But I can't give you financial advice, so don't take anything with this financial advice. Although I'm going to show you my numbers, it's not financial advice. All right, boom. Happy days. And remember, to be scammers in the comments, it's a nightmare on Facebook. They'll be fecking messaging you. I never message anyone. Ask my friends. I don't even reply to them. I'm the worst person in the world to try and contact. I don't answer the phone. And some of you probably have experienced that. I'm sorry. A lot of people are looking for me. I get good at ignoring them. You have to live. But anyway, so case in point, ignore any messages from me asking how you're doing, because I promise you, it's not me. If you want to get in contact with me, come to my website, hello@cryptowithdinny.com. Anyway, moving forward, YouTube have less scammers, so come to YouTube. I'm live on YouTube. I'm trying a different feed. Hopefully the feed is better. The guys on YouTube can let me know if it is. Let me know if the stream is, what the quality is like. And fingers crossed, but I am out in the countryside. Anyway, when it comes to numbers, us humans, we struggle to grasp exponential growth. And like, if we could grasp exponential growth, everyone would buy Bitcoin today. People would just buy it without thinking. But everyone today says Bitcoin's too expensive. Nah, can't really go much higher, can it? But like 10 years ago, they all said that as well. And 5 years ago, they said that as well. And in 10 years' time, they'll all be still saying that. Anyway, quality is spot on. Awesome. Thanks, Sam. But I'll give you an example on exponential growth, okay? This is kind of a cool thing. I have a sheet of paper here, okay? See the sheet of paper? I fold once. All right, this is an example in exponential growth when things multiply. I fold my sheet of paper once. It's a little bit thicker, okay? I fold it a second time. It's a little bit thicker. Anyone ever seen this before? All right, I'm gonna fold it again. Still feckin' skinny enough, lads, but all right. I fold it for a fifth time. Maybe 2 millimeters now, the fifth fold. If I fold this about 35, 36, 37 more times, where does it get me? Answers, please. 37 more folds. I'm at 2 mil here. Here, look, I'll do a sixth fold. That'll probably get me to about 4 mil. 4 millimeters. So all I need is 40 more folds. Where does it get us to? I'm in rush. Would it get me to swords? Because this is exponential growth. This is when something doubles and doubles and doubles. Would it get me to Dublin? It will get me wherever you are, I can promise you that. Yes, Norm is correct. 42 folds of a piece of paper gets you to the moon. That's exponential growth. Unreal. Hard to think of that. I've 7 of them done, and I'm nowhere. Okay, but 40 more and we get to the moon. And the moon ain't that close, lads. All right, and if you go and fold it 103 times, you get to the end of the universe. Isn't that crazy? That little sheet of paper, I fold it 100 times, I get to the end of the universe. Mad, but that's exponential growth. Okay, and hopefully that'll help you quantify the enormity of when things grow exponentially. Anyway, hit the like button if you're learning. Throw a comment in if you're having the crack, if you're feeling good. So on my Instagram story, during the week there, I shared my playbook, me and Dan held. Okay, we both shared the same playbook. And it's get paid in sats if you can, stack sats, hodl, retire. So it's a really simple plan. I'll just explain it to you in case anyone's not familiar with it. So Satoshi is the smallest unit of a Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin every week. I don't buy Bitcoins because they're too expensive. Okay, but with my 20 quid, I go and exchange 20 euros and I get so many Satoshis. So Satoshis are the smallest units of Bitcoin. All right. Now, I don't really get paid that much in Bitcoin. I have a little miner that runs and it pays me a few sats. But with my work, even with crypto with Dini, it's too much of a tax nightmare to get paid in Bitcoin. Because you have to transfer it back to euros and back to Bitcoin. It's not worth it. You're better off getting paid in euros, but saving Bitcoin. Transfer the ones you don't need into Bitcoin. So that's what I do. And then a hodl. Hold on there, my throat is a bit. Clear the throat. So the strategy, very simple. Stack sats, that means just saving Bitcoin and keep them. Keep them for a while. Don't give them away next year. Even if they go up, even if they double in value, even if they go up 4 times, don't give them away next year. All right? Because it's exponential growth. And we'll get to the numbers now when I go on to page 2. But bear with me in a second. So Bitcoin's average returns have been 160%, 160. All right, now the sheet of paper, the returns I was getting by folding that sheet of paper was only 100%. All right, so it's only doubling. But Bitcoin's been outperforming that. So if you fold a Bitcoin 42 times, you probably get to the sun instead of the moon. Maybe further, probably. Anyway, so that's Bitcoin's average return, and that's tax-free. So where else can you get an investment property that's able to accumulate in value at 160% per annum and you pay 0 tax on it? Well, you can't. That's why everyone will own Bitcoin soon. Because anyone who owns physical property, you can see now that the taxes and the regulations are coming after you. And I know a lot of people who own physical investment properties just in my bubble in Ireland. And they're saying, Dini, I'm selling my apartment. I'm going into Bitcoin instead. Can you help me? Or Dini, can you advise me on how to do this? The tax is crippling me. At the end of the month, I'm putting 300 quid in my pocket and all the hassle. Some lad ringing me says the fucking heater not working. Feck that. Just own Bitcoin. So it's happening. Everyone's coming because of this. And just to give you a bit of background, well, 2 lines of information on a Bitcoin standard, because you may have heard me mention, that a lot of people have transitioned to a Bitcoin standard already, and we live on a Bitcoin standard. And the reason we do that is because on a Bitcoin standard, goods and services get cheaper over time. Versus on a fiat standard, goods and services get more expensive over time. And you can notice that now. If you go to buy petrol and you pay your 20 quid, you don't get as much petrol in your car and you don't get as much driving. You have to pay more to get the same driving. Okay, so things get more expensive in fiat, but in Bitcoin terms, things get cheaper as Bitcoin goes up. And that's how we do it. So I'll give you an example. In Crypto with Dini, obviously it's a crypto company. We're 100% Bitcoin treasury. So at the end of every month, when I'm doing my accounting, obviously we have our cash flows and we keep our fiat euros, but anything that's company treasury, that's company profit, just goes into Bitcoin. It just sits there because it's going to be there for whatever, I don't know, however long the company runs for, hopefully a good while. But Crypto with Dini, incidentally, if you want to grow a company, use that strategy, because Crypto with Dini, we're growing at about, it's hard to say now because we're in our first year, but we're probably growing maybe 10% a month. No, we're not growing 10% a month. I don't know what we're growing, but we're certainly not growing 160%. So if you want to grow your company, let's say, I'll give you an example of my fitness company. My fitness company, that grows at around 5% per annum. So by me holding the treasury in Bitcoin, I'm actually able to grow my company at 160% per year. It's incredible. Without working any harder, without getting any more staff, taking on any more risks and liabilities and everything. I can just increase my company's performance by choosing to convert our treasury from euros to Bitcoin. Simple, so easy. Anyway, here's the numbers. We'll talk numbers for you guys, and hopefully it'll make some sense. So the first question is, how much money do you need to retire? Type it in there. What do you reckon? What do you need to retire? What's the figure? Throw in a few guesses there. Or not, well, they're not guesses. It's all subjective. Throw in a figure or two there so we see what you need to retire. Because you need to know where you're going first, I suppose. And I've done plenty of other videos on balance sheets and all that sort of stuff, so you can go and catch them again. So while you're telling me how much you need to retire, and then I'll go through the numbers with you, I suppose, oh yeah, by the way, I have a free workshop on Thursday, the 30th of December. I'll be teaching you how to do this. I'll be teaching you how to set up a Bitcoin retirement plan. Luke's in there with 100k, good man, Luke. But I'll be teaching you how to set up a Bitcoin retirement plan. It's a free workshop. Go onto my website, cryptowithdini.com, and grab a free ticket, and I'll see you then. Guys, if you need help with your crypto portfolio, if you want to work with me one-on-one, no problem. I've been flat out doing that the last couple of weeks, just tweaking portfolios and helping people understand the correct strategies. Again, check it out on my website, And don't forget, if you enjoy the content, give us a like. James Clerkin, $100 million. James, you must be going to buy Lambay, are you? A million, deadly, good stuff. I seen a comment popping up on YouTube there. I missed it though. Sorry, guys. 12 times my salary. You could retire on 1 times my salary, Gary. It depends. Depends how well you want to live, or what you need to live to be happy, I suppose. Most people, we overestimate what we need to be happy, when really, if we can have our time back, we don't need the material things that we think we need if we get our time back. Anyway, that's personal experience. Let me see now. Right, so we have figures of 1 million, 12 times my salary, 100k, happy days. So I'll just run some figures with you on the exponential growth and the folding of the piece of paper, getting you to the moon by folding a bit of paper 42 times. Bitcoin's 47k today, okay? Should Bitcoin continue to perform, all right? Now I'm going to be bearish. I'm not going to be bullish. I'm going to be like the bear. I'm going to say, I can't do that. I'm going to be the ultimate skeptic, all right? So if Bitcoin's averaging 160%, if I just run 100, so let's just say that Bitcoin doubles for the next decade. Now, we know the monetary policy of it, that in 2028, 23, in under a decade, the world would be arguing over 0.5 of a Bitcoin. Whole world, every 10 minutes. That's all the Bitcoin will be, 0.5, all right? So if Bitcoin does 100% for the next decade, you start in 2022, and its returns drop from 160 to 100. You're 47k, let's say, if you own a Bitcoin. And I'm going to run this with more realistic numbers in a second. But just to start with these, let's say you own a Bitcoin today. You've been dollar cost averaging, you've been doing it for years, and you're after accumulating a full Bitcoin. Amazing. Not many people will be lucky enough to be able to do that, okay? But your 47k Bitcoin in 10 years' time, how much? 46 million. That's what 100% compounded over a decade is. Decade's not that long, lads. 47 million, all right? Let's go even more bearish. 160% per year for the last 10 years. But let's just say we only do 50% per annum. 50%. We're being ultimate bears here. It's done 370% pretty much since I've started teaching courses. Since I've been actively teaching with Crypto with Dini, Bitcoin's done 370%. But if we do 50% per annum, for 10 years, it's 2.7, almost 3 million. 47k Bitcoin turns into. And if we go even more bearish and we go to 25%, like Bitcoin doing 25% for a decade, no one thinks it's going to be that bearish. But anyway, it's nearly 500,000. 500,000. So incredible returns. There's nothing out there in the world that achieves returns like that. Anyway, let's scale it back. Okay, I think a crypto. Okay, I'll say it like this: when's the best time to buy Bitcoin or plant a tree? When's the best time to buy Bitcoin or plant a tree? Now, the plant a tree is the old saying. I've just added in the Bitcoin, but the answer is 10 years ago or today. So the best time to buy Bitcoin or plant a tree was 10 years ago or today. All right, happy days, boom. Now, incidentally, I'll give you a few figures here, because I've just done this for curiosity and the crack. When I first started teaching Crypto with Dini courses, all right, like officially, not just teaching my friends and doing that sort of stuff, but when I actually started doing this as a job, a 5k investment in Bitcoin today is 25k. All right, so I think 25k is a nice starter point. If you could get your portfolio on dollar cost average and try and get 25k into a crypto portfolio, we'll run the numbers on that in a second. However, for anyone who done my course, and all they done was bought Bitcoin. Now on the courses, I teach you how to leverage a Bitcoin, how to borrow against it, how to lend it, how to stake it, how to earn yield off it. I teach you how to leverage Ethereum. I teach people how to use stable coins to get guaranteed 10% regardless of what markets are doing. And all the other stuff that I teach people. But if someone done my course, someone was like, Genie Mac, that's a lot of stuff, Dinny. But all I'm going to do is just buy 5 grand of Bitcoin. Well, they've got their 25k today. They've got their starter amount. So it's awesome. All right. 25k, doing 100% for the decade. Now 25k, it's a good chunk of change. Let's be honest, it's 25 grand. It's a quarter of 100 grand. These maths. Man, Derek, a few Dinny bombs. Okay, but 25k doing 100% for a decade is 24 million. Remember, it's exponential growth. We don't think it's possible because we can't struggle with exponential growth. Like, no one could say that, here, there's a sheet of paper, without Googling it. I wouldn't have known it. Fold this 42 times, it'll get you to the moon. Fold it 100 times, it'll get you to the end of the universe. That's exponential growth. We can't compute it, okay? But if Bitcoin was to do 100%, we get to 24 million. 25k turns into 24 million. Tax-free. Find an institutional asset, institutional grade asset, piece of property that's going to be able to do that sort of accumulation with no tax. It doesn't exist. Well, it does. It's called Bitcoin. Okay. At 50%, if we go bearish case, our 25k, it's only $1.5 million. Only $1.5 million. Serious chunk of change you've turned 25 grand into. Okay. And if we go full bear, the Bitcoin only does 25% per annum. Remember, everything that's happening in the world today is what Bitcoin is made for. All right. Political uncertainty, social unrest, inflation, rampant inflation. This is what Bitcoin was created for. It's an alternative system. For if the other system falls apart, we're building this alternative system. But if it only does 25%, it's $250,000 you're sitting on after your decade. So pretty awesome figures. This is what's called an asymmetric bet, and that the upside is far bigger than the downside. And what I think is happening is that people are underestimating how well Bitcoin's going to perform over this next coming decade, just as everybody did a decade ago, and overestimating other things. Like in a decade, the vast 90, I'd say you could probably go 99% of the cryptos we see and own today won't be here in a decade. Pretty much a certainty, okay? Because they're all startups. They're early stage startup companies. Do you know what the failure rate is for the first 5 years? 90+%. Do you know what the failure rate is for the second 5 years? 90+%. All right. So the vast majority of them are guaranteed not to be here. And that's why I don't build retirement plans about things that, yeah, might be here, but there's a higher likelihood that it won't be here in 10 years. That's why when I'm teaching people how to build their retirement plans, we leverage that other stuff. We profit from that other stuff. We use that other stuff to grow our Bitcoin, but we build a portfolio about accumulating more Satoshis and more units of Bitcoin. And we keep stacking and we hodl. And that just means hold on for dear life. Because it's a rocky road. It goes up, it goes down. Okay? In the short term. But in the long term, we know wherever we are today, 10 years time, there's two places we are. We're considerably higher, or we're at zero. Damn it. And the only thing that can actually bring us to zero is what's called an unknown unknown. Just like if an asteroid hits the Earth right now, on my last day in my 30s, I'll die happy and it won't affect me because there's an unknown unknown. I didn't see it coming. No one could predict it happening. You don't live your life like that. You don't worry about unknown unknowns. It's just you live your life and you live knowing the knowns, and you take risks according to knowns. But anyway, hope you got some value of that. Don't underestimate stacking some Satoshis. 5 years ago, no one thought their Bitcoin would be worth what it's worth today. 10 years ago, no one thought that 100 quid's worth of Bitcoin would be hundreds of thousands today, or 100 quid's worth of Bitcoin would be millions today. Nobody thought that. Just like today, most people who haven't understood this thing yet don't realize that dollar cost averaging and saving in the money that goes up in value is better than saving in the money that goes down in value. And that's why I don't save euros, I save Satoshis. That's what I teach my guys. We teach in Bitcoin terms. Guys, have an awesome day. Nice baseball cap, thank you. I got the representative hat on. A fella asked me last night, I was out at a Christmas party. I wasn't drinking and I feel terrible today. I was drinking non-alcoholic ciders. And he's like, yeah, you always wear the Bitcoin things, Dinny, because I do. I either have a hat on or a t-shirt or a hoodie. I always have something on. Why? And then I was like, I don't know, I just sort of like it. Like, I'm pretty passionate Bitcoiner and it does spark up conversation with people. I always like wearing clothes that are things that I'm into. Like I wear my Iron Man gear and someone will talk about Iron Mans, or I wear my MotoGP stuff and someone is into motorbikes. You know, I just think it's cool like that. If you sort of, it's almost like you're inviting people to have a conversation with you because you're sort of showing them what you're into. And same with Bitcoin, and it's something that I'm passionate about. And years ago, now some of you don't be into this stuff, But went to see this healer woman. I wasn't well, and it was a mad experience. But she told me, orange is your colour. Go to orange. Always have orange in your life. You should always wear orange, Dinny. Lo and behold, Bitcoin found me, and it's orange. But who knows? Universe talks to us. Guys, hope you have a super day. Hope you got some value out of the video. Hit the like button if you did. Hit the share button and get onto my Bitcoin basics course. If you're clueless how to do this stuff, it's on the 30th of December. Happy Christmas. Sure, I'll probably be talking just since then. And like, share, comment, and don't forget to, if you're on Instagram, follow Crypto with Dinny. Have the crack. You'll see the stories, the crack. Guys, Dinny out. Jack Miller, baby. That's it, Dave. Yeah. You see, I'm a Rossi man, but since this is motorbike talk, you just can ignore this. Since Rossi's retiring this year, I had to go and buy a load of Jack Miller stuff because I think I'm going to support Jack because he's sound. Guys, Dinny out. Let's end that one. Boom.